Coming off our toughest game yet of the series, we faced the Dallas Cowboys, and as expected, they exposed a lot of our weaknesses. The offense struggled. Bryce Young just couldn't sit cleanly in the pocket, and when we did have some time, he was flustered from the pass rush. Passes were off. We missed out on a lot of opportunities. We only ended up with 250 offensive yards. Defense had its time here and there, but pass rush extremely lacking against a really good offensive line. It was the trenches that led us to a 31-10 loss. And today, the competition level does not waver. Kansas City Chiefs, not a battle of the NFC, but it's another battle against a really tough team. They've started this year 1-1, but they have an 89 offense, an 85 defense, 87 overall. And they have a near top 10 offense across the board, 3rd in points per game, 1st in passing yards, 11th in rushing yards. It's their defense that we have to take advantage of, as they are bottom 5 in every category, 28th in rushing yards, 31st in passing and points per game. So our offense has to be able to carry, and we need some guys from our defense to step up. And I have made a slight tweak to the starting defense, really just at right edge, where we are going to be starting Kingsley Enagbare. We've benched Gross Matos for now. We just haven't gotten any sacks in the first couple games. So we're going to see if Enagbare can step up. He's also going to be one of our rush ends as well, just to see if that sparks things. And if we still don't have it with either Enagbare or Gross Matos, there is the rookie in Fitzgerald we could give a go. As for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes obviously going to be their biggest weapon. 99 overall. We have to contain him from any scrambling he does try to have and make sure that he's not just throwing the ball willy-nilly. Isaiah Pacheco is their running back. Their backup is Zamir White. They no longer have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. As for the receivers, they've improved a little bit, but it's still not a very impressive. Rashee Rice, McCole Hardman Jr., Kadarius Toney, their top 3. They also still have Sky Moore. We'll see how much he gets involved. And Shee Smith. Tight end Travis Kelce, obviously someone we have to limit. Luckily, we do have a safety now who is very much well-developed in man coverage in Sidney Brown. So hopefully that ends up being a decent look for us. As for their offensive line, we need to see some pass rush today. Their starting left tackle is 71 overall, Wanya Morris. They also have a backup in James Hurst, who's also 71. I imagine they go with a younger guy, though. Joe Thuney, he's going to be a tough guy. Right down the middle, mostly going to be lined up against Derek Brown, who was shut out last week against Zach Martin. So hopefully we have something from our best defensive lineman. Straight up down the middle, Creed Humphrey could very well be taking away Grover Stewart. And then on the right side, Trey Smith. The middle of their line is extremely well developed. And then at right tackle, Juwan Taylor down into 78. So we need the edge guys to have a great performance today. As for their defensive line, not as good as their offensive line, but still pretty solid. They have an 82 overall Carl Loftus. And behind him, they have a young guy, second-year guy to Kansas State. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I know I'm going to butcher it. But Felix, pretty solid young guy who probably should see some playing time. As for the other side, they have Mike Dana and Omenahu, 2 really good, solid players. And down the middle, Chris Jones. We know he could wreak havoc. Behind him, Derek Nottie. So they have some really good guys. Jalen Palmer, another young guy, a rookie. So it's definitely a good group, similar to what we had with the Cowboys, though not as well developed yet. When we get to the linebackers, 72 overall, Michael Hoach. And the middle, Nick Bolton. Good guy that we need to work around. We like to play to the outside. Willie Gay on the other side, a 79. Their corners have a good top 2 in McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed. Jalen Watson is someone we might be able to work around at the slot. Free safety, Geno Stone, 82, and Justin Reed, 82 is criminally low for Justin Reed. My opinion, at least. They got a pretty good kicker, so they could hit from distance, 97 kick power with 88 accuracy. It's going to be a tough game. The hope is that we learned a lot from last week's game. We improve upon that and head out and put together a good performance at home against the Chiefs. And we are underway with another big battle here at home. Sims to set us off. He is returning it with some space down the middle, trying to bounce. Not gonna get by 24. What a big stop. Sky Moore saving what should have been a touchdown as Bryce Young and this offense head out. Now, this was a group that struggled to find points last week, only scoring 10, and the one and only touchdown came from the goal line. Need to see more as we get it to the outside. It's going to be a catch for the first down for the rookie tight end as Corbett's shaken up. We've seen a lot of little injuries here and there to start this season. Luckily, Corbett just heads to the bench. But we need to stay healthy. As we burst right down the middle, it's Hubbard nearly sprinting away there, but a good chunk, 13. And it is a quick return for Corbett. Was just a pectoral strain, so he's back out there. He's going to be facing Chris Jones today, so we need him top of his game. As we get this one out to Hubbard, needs to put a move on the safety or juke back into him. Skate a 9, though. Again, the key for this game is the offense has got to keep up with the Chiefs offense, and we have a chance to start off big first as we hand it off Akers, who could have found a gap, gain of nothing. But this is definitely an opportunity we don't want to miss out. We need points to start off with because who knows how the defense is going to fare. As it's 3rd and 1, a little bit of some play action. We're going to have Hayden Hurst, but it's led too far and it's get picked off. Stone, who made the stop on the previous play, ends the drive as Young had issues last week and it might be carrying over. He just put way too much underneath that ball. It could have been a laser throw, maybe a slightly lofted, a little bit of some touch, but no, as Isaiah Oliver has got to stop giving up these tight coverage big plays. Though could have also used a little bit of help from C.J. Gardner-Johnson deeper downfield, who stayed underneath, but yeah, just need a little bit more from coverage. Great play design there, sucked down the backers, pops over the top for Kelsey. We started off with a couple big plays and then quickly faded. Hopefully we do the same here, as they do go empty. Down at the 30, they got 3 to the left, 2 to the right. As they do go right to Kelsey, who gets by Deion Jones and then gets by him again. We drag him down, but down to the 7. Defense definitely tall task ahead of them. Patrick Mahomes can find guys quickly and efficiently, or let things develop, either or. As he's trying to find somewhere to develop here, he looks to run, and he goes down awkwardly with a gain of 3. But we need the pass rush to get in Mahomes' face, at least let him scramble a little bit, then try to find a way to drag him down. There's a good stop, Deion Jones, just a gain of 1 to Pacheco. But it's down the middle where we might struggle, especially down at the goal line. Center and guard all looked really good as Johnson not able to get the tackle. Spun off by Pacheco, and the Chiefs go on top. Mistakes capitalized by our opponent was what got the game away from us last week. We can't let that continue here today, so let's get this one out quick. We're going to have Hayden Hurst this time sprinting close and is going to pick up the first down. A stretch there at the end ensures it. And that is what this offense is. We got to be quick and efficient. We went a little bit too heavy deep down the field on that last drive, I felt. Obviously, the deeper pass was the cause of problems for us. As we go with the stretch here, it's just a gain of 2 to Hubbard. He was pretty efficient in the running game last week. Only 5 carries, 57 yards, but he got well involved in the passing game. And we'll look to continue that here today, but Chris Jones ruins the screen. Took too long to set up. And now that leaves us with a 3rd and very long. First down is the other side of the 40. As they bring down the safeties, we have a couple deep options. As they do bring the pressure. Try to get this one out for Snead. It's not quite placed well for him. It's at least going to be a punt, not an interception, but not a good drive. Plus, on top of that, puts a lot more pressure on the defense here. We're already down 1 possession. Really don't want to go down 2. As they're going to start with a throw. Mahomes scrambling to the outside. He finds Kelsey, who picks up 9 and out of bounds. Stockton was in coverage on that one, but then let off as he exited his zone. But there was no one to pass him off to as Pacheco sprinting away at the 10-5 and past C.J. Gardner-Johnson. It will be a 2-score game. And as the quote goes, they are who we thought they were. The Chiefs' offense looking really good. It's our offense. We need to step up. As we look for Tommy Tremble, quickly getting to the outside. Need to turn down the sideline or get picked up, slammed down short of the line to gain with about 9.5. We'll say Greg Olsen, our OC, doing a pretty good job of keeping these tight ends well involved in this offense. As we look to get Hubbard to the outside, we got a big block downfield. However, we get tackled before we can get around it. Big first down, though, up to the 45. If you missed last week's game against the Cowboys, big block from Aquanu on one of those outside runs. Definitely check it out. It's also on one of the shorts. As we dump this one off Hayden Hurst, going to be another first down, turning up right at the sideline, picking up an extra about 3 or 4. If we have to dink and dunk, we will dink and dunk. With about 1 play left here in the first quarter, we go with the running back / halfback screen, and Hubbard will pick up about 3. Wasn't a completely awful first quarter. There was some good from the offense. Unfortunately, we turned the ball over, and then the second drive was bad. Defense has just struggled. So if our offense can clean up their play and the defense get a couple big plays, we can definitely get back in this one. Look for Jennings on that corner, looks good, or Mingo on the double move. We'll go with Jennings to the outside. Placed well from Young that time. We're down inside the red zone. Jennings was pretty well shut out last week. Need to see a resurgence for him this week. Though Chuba Hubbard's favorite route dialed up. We'll see if Bolton can cover him. As they do cover it well and stepping up in the pocket, we get dropped by Noddy. We can't really afford too many of these losses. 2nd and 14. We stick with the same look, trying to get the halfback screen out, and Noddy ruins that one. Well, we got to find something here. First down is at the 7, as we still spread 2 wide either side. Hard count. Definitely saw some movement from our line, but no flags thrown. Pass rush working its way back and hits home. Young could not find a way to escape. We're going to have to send out the field goal unit. And we keep getting closer to where we need to be, which end zone, but we keep falling short late on here. And that one came off the foot funny and is off the crossbar. Not sure if it was the hold, not sure if laces were out or in, but the rookie in Ford just doinked it off the bar. Just another thing to add to the list of mistakes that cost us. Could at least be some points on the board right now. None, as they go with a quick throw to the outside, held onto by Rice. Up to this point, still have not seen any pass rush form yet. We need to find something there as they go underneath. Rice gets the catch, not much after. But that's not been our problem. Our problem has been the fact that we just keep giving up the catches and shaking off the sack, though not going to shake off the second. That one goes to Grover Stewart. I believe it was Derek Brown who got there first, but couldn't hold on to it. Finally a good play, though, from our defense. As we get back there again, Wanham just not able to get the actual sack. They get it out to Tony, who picks up the lost yardage. But on a 3rd and 10, gotta have the stop. Can't be giving up play after play as they go outside, knocked away by the rookie in Cash. So it took a couple drives, but the defense finally gets their stop. And the offense, you've got to answer with points here. Little over 4 minutes left in the half. It's just stepping up right down the middle is going to be Young, who will slide down this time, not hesitating and taking a hit and fumbling. That, unfortunately, has been semi-common occurrence this year as we spread empty. We got some deep options. We got a couple short options. See quite what opens up as we roll. We had Hubbard downfield, but we take the safest option, getting bumped out of bounds at the 38. Some of our best games have been when Young has gotten out of the pocket and made things happen with his legs. Might need to try to do that a little bit more as we go down the middle here. Hubbard on the draw will pick up 6. Need to try to spread out this defense a little bit so we could open up some of the screen games that work pretty well for us when they're not getting stopped immediately. As we look for a drag here across the middle, going to be Hayden Hurst. Not going to put the juke on the defender, but first down for us again. We're down to the 22. But we've gotten down here 2 separate times. This is our 3rd trip. We need to finish this one, and that just has to go with not getting away from what we do as Hubbard gets away from the defenders. An extra little spin there on the chain guy. We've got a first down to the 11. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Need the points here. A quick stop on defense and another score would be ideal. However, considering that we struggled to score up to this point, let's not be greedy. Let's make a couple changes here. Gonna have Chenault on the drag, Jennings on the slant. Try to get Hurst to that back pylon, depending what the outside corner does. He sits pretty well on it. Young trying to scramble, buy some time. Get to the outside, picking up some yards. We're down to the 4. Just buy time. Take as much risk out of these as possible. Gets us inside the 5. Hubbard with some blocking. Tries to bounce back towards the middle. It's close. A 3rd and 1. So let's bring out the goal line team here. Need at least the first. Get the blocks, and Akers spins and loses all the yardage. What happened there? I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't hit the spin move. I told him to truck, and he put the move on the guy. We got an RPO dialed up here because why not? Chenault, probably the best option. We'll see what happens here as we just stick it with Hubbard, who does just edge out the first. Or not. I don't agree with that. It definitely looked like to me he made the line to gain. Not by much, but it looked like he was there. Now we have to hope that we could get a safety, get the ball back, and then get some more points. As they go fullback dive, not gonna go anywhere. Let's call a timeout there. Gambling a lot, sending everyone, but we might need everyone. They could pop over with a pass. That's always a possibility. As they will go with a pass here, they find Kelsey, but he does not get away. We call our second timeout. It's 3rd and 4. Now you just have to be a lot more conservative with sending the blitzes. As they are going with a pass, they have a couple guys all flooding one side of the field, and somehow they get by Deion Jones, then by the next guy, they're up to the 30. These are the opportunities we can't be giving up if we're to stay in this game. One, we should have scored on offense, but deep down the field there, you've got to make the play and not give up that catch, Horn. That's honestly been the most frustrating part with this defense, is that the coverage is pretty good. We're just not getting the knockaways nor getting the sacks. We get a hit in there on Mahomes. 3rd and 1. Now we call a timeout. If we can get the stop here, a couple big plays out of bounds, maybe a shot at a field goal. It's what we're looking for. As they do get it out, it's going to be dropped by Stockton. That should have been an interception. But he at least gets us off the field. We have 8 seconds. We need either a touchdown on this play or a big chunk downfield and out of bounds. And they're playing off coverage. Single coverage, though. Out to Jennings, and it's another throw that's just about a yard underthrown. Those are ones we definitely have not gotten lucky with. Now it is press. We're going to send both the outside guys, Mingo and Jennings. We also have Hurst down the middle to pull over a safety. Jennings kind of has the step, but then loses it, and Snead easily knocks it away. We head into halftime there. Well, a lot of opportunities, both offensively and defensively, that we have not capitalized on, not taken advantage of. We're lucky it's just 14-0. Defense stepped up in the second quarter, but the offense, through 2 games right now, has only scored 10 points, so they've got to come alive. As we look around the league, anyone else struggling? Saints taking on the Commanders. 14-10, both of those teams scoring a lot more than we have, though the Saints have not won a game this season. If they were to pull out the win here and we lose today, they would jump ahead of us. Bengals taking on the Chargers. We beat the Chargers week 1. They're currently up 20-7 against the Bengals, who did drop one of their opening games. Herbert 2 touchdowns in that first half. As for our last option here, our last look at, got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Jags, and it's a close one, 10-7. Will Levis finally the starting quarterback for the Titans. Now, luckily, unluckily for us, it's our defense out first. Luckily in the fact that they've been the better side for us. Unlucky in the fact that the Chiefs could potentially widen their lead, which is already 14-0. And if we get any more opportunities to intercept the pass or really force any big play, we've got to take advantage of it. Like a hit well timed in on Mahomes keeps that pass from arriving. I'll bring up the first 3rd down, first big opportunity for us this second half. It will be a throw from Mahomes. They go deep downfield, and you tell me, it looked like there was a little bit of a push off there from Hardman. The ref doesn't call anything. Not that that's really expected when playing against the Chiefs. If anything, they're going to be called on you. 1st and 10 as they get into plus territory. A good block down the middle from Smith, and Pacheco looks to be a little bit shaken up after that one. Doesn't appear to be at least a big injury. He stays on the field, just heads to the bench. But it's a 2nd and 3 as they bring up the backup running back, going downfield and through the hands this time of Hardman. That one was probably one of the least tight coverages from Oliver today, but doesn't end up costing us as it's 3rd and 3. They do throw it right across the middle. The hit from Stockton does not jar it free. Kelsey picks him up, fresh set of downs. And so far, haven't seen much from Enongbar. He's really not been much of a factor, really, in this game. As they swing it out, not well timed. Hardman and Mahomes just not on the same page. And that seems to be what we celebrate most so far today. They're down to the 31. It's 2nd and 10. As it will be another throw. Mahomes has a couple options across the middle, and he does find Rice, who holds on through another big hit from Stockton. Just another one of those times where we're a step and a half off from making the play. As they flip the play here, going to send the 3 to the right-hand side, 1 lone to the left. Mahomes looking for a throw right down the seam, finding Rice. Cash got beat that time, and it's now 21-0. This offense has got to come alive now. You have to remember, Young was the player of the week for the NFC after week 1. Since then, he really has not played very well. We start off with a decent chunk, though, here. 9 yards going to Laviska Shenault, who arguably looked like he was about to get into an argument there at the sideline. He walks away. 2nd and 1. They send the blitz. We get it to the outside, and it's just a panic throw that's going to lead to a 28-0 score line. Young, if you're going to go to that side, you had Chuba Hubbard. You chose the wrong check down. And that digs our hole even deeper. Now a whole lot to do for to even make this an enticing game late on. Rolling out, try to get down the field perhaps. No, we're just going to have to tiptoe the sideline for a gain of 6. That really seems to be the primary way we're moving the ball today, is Young just scrambling and try to make something happen, because the passing game in its true nature is not quite working. Though Jennings opening up here, that one's well thrown from Young. On the money for Jennings. And if you could throw it like that on the move, some of these other passes, they just got to be better. As we come out spread empty once again, getting this one out to Hubbard, having to cut back towards the middle. We'll pick up a few before Snead meets him. Or back out there quickly. We need a lot of touchdowns, so we're going to have to move quickly on offense. Defensive possessions are going to have to be just as timely. As it is Jennings, he's open downfield and into the end zone. There's our first score. It just took about a game and a half a quarter. But Jennings finally gets us on the board. Let's try to find a few more. As the Chiefs come out, we need the defense to have, again, their best performance, as instead... Thank you, Kelsey. I was about to say we give up an easy play, but he just dropped it. A gift, pretty much, wrapped up in a bow. We need a few more of those. Hopefully we can find some. 2nd and 10. Gonna be another pass. Stockton was there, but he decided to run behind Kelsey instead of in front of him. So Kelsey picks up the first. So they give us a gift, we give them a gift. No more gift giving unless it's the Chiefs to us. How about that? As it's a fresh set of downs here for Mahomes, who's rolling, throwing out to Pacheco, who is back out there, and Jones will end up winning that battle. But a battle we definitely need to start winning more of is this edge rush. Nothing. The only actual pass rush we've gotten has really been down the middle. We've got to beat the tackles where we have the advantage, as Nagbar does, and then immediately misses the sack. But we got to have it here. 3rd and 10. Got to get off the field. Offense finally scored for us. Let's get a stop defense. As we get a little bit of pass rush on the opposite side. Mahomes rolling to the other way and trucks through Cash to pick up the first. That is now back-to-back games where a quarterback has lowered his throwing shoulder and ran through our defense to pick up a first down. They're just not respecting us right now, and that block shed definitely doesn't help. Breaks another tackle, and Pacheco just destroyed Deion Jones with the stiff arm. 6 rushes, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns for Pacheco. Well, at least it's safe to say we've found out what this team's weakness is. It's teams with good trenches. We definitely can't compete. As they get it out to Kelsey, who gets tripped up by Cash. However, it still goes for another first down, this time inside the 10. They're down at the 7, trying to retake their 4-score lead. As it will be a throw outside, going to Tony, spinning off of one, and there's a double big hit from Deion Jones. And they'll bring out the goal line set here. Looking for that 35-7 score line. As they hand it off down the middle, Stockton fills the gap, but the blocking is just too good. Pacheco finds his 3rd touchdown of the day. And we really just got to start working for future games, kind of feels like in this one. So let's just try to get this offense moving again, start to rebuild their confidence. As we go to the outside, it's Tommy Tremble picking up a first down. Getting these quick pass games to the outside, mostly going to the tight ends. That needs to be the forefront. Need to really utilize that to set up some possible deeper plays downfield. Mix in a little bit from Hubbard here and there. As it opens up for him, he picks up another first down. And we'll maybe have time for one more play here in the 3rd quarter. Hopefully it's a good one. They do send a little bit of some pressure. We get this one out, but a little bump from the linebacker threw off that timing, and from there, it's 4th quarter time. Can we improve? Can we at least get the offense moving? And as we open up the 4th quarter, they do bring down the safeties. We're going to make a check here. Maybe look for Mingo. He has not gotten a catch today. As we throw that way, and he gets lit up. No catch. Unfortunately for Mingo, he's kind of been facing some of the better corners in each of these matchups, so we really haven't been able to see much from him. As we have an option to go out there late, he does get the catch, takes a big hit from the second guy, and now it's 4th and 3. However, these short down and distances hasn't really been a problem for us. That's where we've thrived. Though as I say that, probably jinked us here. As we look for Hurst to the outside, it's a bad throw, turnover on downs. Call it a jinx or just a really bad throw from Young, that's up to you. But he's definitely not continued the same play we saw from him last season after Steve Smith Sr. came in, or in opening week of this season. Completely different. He was shaken up with a back spasm in that first game. So potentially there's just not much of a talked about lingering injury with him right now that's just throwing off his game. As we look for Pacheco to the outside, the blocking's there, sets him free, and they're down to the 36. Our defensive run game has left a little bit to be desired the last couple weeks. I mean, Deuce Vaughn went off against us last week. Pacheco, a much better running back as he gets to the outside. Luckily, CJ Gardner-Johnson there as Joe Thuney now a little bit shaken up. Or at least weaken some of their interior, but a little bit too late in this one for any advantages. He looked to be okay. He just head to the bench. But we could use something here to the outside. It's Oliver who got beat. One-on-one has not been his strong suit as Hardman Jr. adds to the board. Okay, we at least try to salvage a little bit of some self-respect in this one. Get another touchdown on the board before the end of it. We start back at the 25, looking for the halfback screen. We do get it out to Hubbard, pick up one block, gets the juke, and scampers out. It's a gain of 12. I will say I feel like most of our steady plays have gone Hubbard's way or to one of the tight ends. Receivers have been a little bit hit or miss as Young, trying to go somewhere, cannot escape. Credit half that one to Omenahu. Not sure if you could hear it, but the home crowd booing after the play. That tells you all you need to know. As it's Chuba Hubbard headed towards the sideline, not enough real estate. Great play there from Justin Reed. Looked good for a second, but about a second was all we had. As it's another 3rd and long. Looking for just something. We go Mingo across the middle, trying to fight forward. Leaves us 4th and 5. And it's more booing as the offense stays out there. You'd think the fans would be happy about this, at least being aggressive. We spread wide, needing to pick up a first down. As Young scrambles, it's another sack and another turnover on downs. And we at least not give up any more touchdowns. Let's not make it 49-7 and not give Pacheco a 4th touchdown. As he nearly finds the edge there. It's a first down to the 21. We obviously knew going into this season that the team needed a lot of work. We luckily play in a pretty easy division, but against the big dogs in the league right now, very clearly, we're getting demolished. And that's not something that Steve Smith or Luke Kuechly, any of our head coaches are really known for from their time out there playing, as we do get a tackle there, barely. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stern practices leading up to our next game. As we're approaching the 2-minute warning here, Kansas is at the 11. Pacheco down the middle, picked up and dumped by Jones. And we've seen Jones, as we do hit the 2-minute warning here, have a little bit of some more hit or miss plays. We do have another rookie. He was our first selection in this series who could use a little bit of some more playing time. So that might be something we look for, as Pacheco is looking for a place in the Hall of Fame to put these cleats. He has 4 touchdowns on the day. Gotta give a lot of credit, though, to the offensive line. Kansas City in the trenches has dominated both sides of the ball, as we have a little under 2 minutes left just to try to find something, as we have to roll. Got a guy coming across, and it's going to be knocked away. Coverage has been locked in from the Chiefs. All day today, we've gotten at most a lot of these little short dink and dunk plays. As we need one of them here, there's not much to go for, so a jump ball that gets knocked away from Jordan Thomas. And the crowd just continues booing their home team. Kansas City has dominated on the field and in the stands today. 4th and 9. We'll give it one more play. After that, I'm sure the Chiefs will do the right thing and kneel out the clock. You would hope, or they would look for getting 50-plus points. As we go to the outside here, though, it's going to be Hayden Hurst. We're not done yet. Just got to try to salvage a little something. Young needs to have a good drive here to really get him going into next week, as he throws a beautiful one there to Chenault. Where has that been? He keeps missing all these throws and then just sprinkles in an amazing one here and there, giving you hope, but just got to do it more consistently. Look for a bad throw to the back corner. We still have time for a couple more plays, maybe Jennings to that back pylon, depending on how the coverage works, and they actually cover that pretty well. Instead, we had Chenault. It's another bad one. Honestly, do we bring in Chuba Hubbard, let him throw one? That could be fun. 3rd and 10, though. We're going to try to go with the wide receiver screen. At least get some big play, as Chenault nearly broke to the outside there. Let's call a timeout for 4th and 6. Need at least the first down. We got 23 seconds if we do pick up that first. We got a couple stop routes that will definitely be past the line to gain, a drag route that could get there, as that's where we go. It's a good one for Mingo, and that will be how we end it. A little something good for a young developing player. Left a lot out there today. We at least get a little XP. But that will finally bring the mercy of the end of the game and our own home crowd booing us, as honestly, deservedly so. Offense, horrific today. Defense, not all too much better. Opportunities that we have to clean up, do better. And Nagbar, as we see there, did not take advantage of his opportunity. In fact, he didn't record a single stat throughout this entire game. So he was someone we traded for. We obviously wanted to get a little bit more of some competition at the outside linebacker spot. Wanted to dump a veteran, allow some of the younger guys to develop, and in his first real impression out there, he did not impress. And in terms of other options that we may have, well, we could go back to Gross Matos, give him another opportunity. We also have 2 other guys who could use some time. DJ Johnson in his second year, a 72 overall, so about the same as Gross Matos and Nagbar. He has some power moves, has a little bit of some block shedding. He's a very raw talent, but someone that we could get out there, see what he could do. He struggles tackling, that's only a 71, but he has some pretty good speed and acceleration, so he can fly around. The other option is the rookie in Braxton Fitzgerald. He's, again, a very raw talent, 69, and that's with a +1 boost right now, a normal dev. He has some finesse, less block shedding, a little bit better of a tackler. He still flies around a pretty good bit. So we could give them an opportunity And luckily for us, the competition gets a lot easier next time. We finally open divisional play against the Buccaneers. Now, divisional play is where I see this team having the most amount of success because really every single team here is rebuilding. The Falcons maybe have the most amount of pieces, but right now it's the Buccaneers and Falcons on top of the division. But them and ourselves are 1-2. The Saints are 0-3, so we're even in playoff contention and probably could be for a while if we win our division. Clearly, we're going to have to get a lot better as the game from the Cowboys and today against the top dogs, we're just not there. But divisional play is where we have to find our success and where we saw a lot of success last season. Hopefully we see a little bit more of that. As for right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 31st in offensive points per game, 31st in offensive passing, and 24th in offensive rushing. Their defense, not really a whole lot better, but a little bit better. 20th in points per game, 15th in passing yards, and 28th in rushing yards. Meanwhile, for ourselves, we don't have anything good besides offensive passing yards, but we know that has been inconsistent at best since week 1. So we got to resettle ourselves, get back to it, and we'll probably have a little bit more of some scouting updates as we move along, as we finally got through a week where we were actually able to send our scouts out. So all that is to come. Some better play, hopefully. The next at least 2 weeks, I could say, are very winnable games. We'll see about the Vikings. You never quite know with Madden, but good things to come. As long as you guys stick around. So hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the subscription button. They both do the same thing. And subscribing to this channel, and definitely hit that bell icon so you're notified of when these go live. This series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with the state-only challenge, currently Michigan, every Wednesday and Saturday. So you guys got 6 videos every single week, plus the little shorts highlighting everything happening in these series. A whole lot of content and a bunch more coming. So stick around, and hopefully we'll move past this drought of an offense, to say the least, and even the defense, just drought of play, and get back to what we saw last season.